Sisyphus was a king in ancient Greece. He ruled the city of Corinth, a place known for its wealth and strategic importance. As a ruler, Sisyphus was both admired and feared by his subjects. His reign was marked by prosperity, but also by his notorious reputation for being a master of deceit. He was known for his cunning and intelligence. Sisyphus was not just any king, he was a man of great intellect and shrewdness. His ability to outwit others was legendary, and he often used his sharp mind to manipulate those around him to his advantage. Many sought his counsel, but few trusted him completely. However, Sisyphus was also deceitful and impious. His cleverness often led him down a path of treachery. He was known to break oaths and betray allies, all in the pursuit of his own gain. His actions were not just morally questionable, they were outright blasphemous, challenging the very gods themselves. He angered the gods with his trickery. The gods, who valued order and justice, were infuriated by Sisyphus's constant defiance. His audacity to challenge their authority was seen as an unforgivable sin. The gods watched his every move, waiting for the moment to exact their revenge. Sisyphus's most audacious act was deceiving Thanatos, Death himself. In a bold and reckless move, Sisyphus managed to trick Thanatos into being chained, preventing him from carrying out his duty. This act was not just a simple trick, it was a direct affront to the natural order established by the gods. By chaining Thanatos, Sisyphus disrupted the natural order of life and death. With death incapacitated, no mortal could die. This unprecedented situation caused a ripple effect throughout the world, affecting both mortals and immortals alike. The balance of life and death, a fundamental principle of existence, was thrown into disarray. This act had dire consequences. The world was plunged into chaos as the natural cycle of life and death was halted. Warriors who fell in battle continued to suffer, unable to find peace. The elderly and the sick, who longed for release, were trapped in their ailing bodies. The very fabric of society began to unravel. People stopped dying, throwing the world into chaos. The gods' carefully maintained order was in jeopardy, and the mortal realm was in turmoil. The living could not move on, and the dead could not find rest. This unprecedented disruption caused widespread panic and confusion among the people. The gods, furious with Sisyphus's transgression, decided to punish him severely. They could not allow such a blatant defiance to go unpunished. Sisyphus's actions had not only challenged their authority, but had also endangered the very essence of life and death. The gods convened to determine a punishment befitting his crime, one that would serve as a warning to all who dared to defy them. Zeus, the king of the gods, took Sisyphus's crimes very seriously. Sisyphus, a cunning mortal, had dared to deceive the gods not once but multiple times. His audacity knew no bounds, and he even managed to cheat death itself. Such insolence could not go unpunished in the eyes of Zeus, who ruled the heavens with an iron fist. He considered Sisyphus's actions a direct challenge to his authority. The king of the gods was not one to be trifled with, and Sisyphus's repeated defiance was a slap in the face of divine order. Zeus, known for his temper and sense of justice, was determined to make an example out of Sisyphus. The mortal's cleverness and trickery had crossed the line, and Zeus's wrath was about to be unleashed. Zeus decided on a punishment that would torment Sisyphus for eternity. He pondered deeply, seeking a fate that would be both fitting and eternal. The punishment had to reflect the gravity of Sisyphus's transgressions, and serve as a warning to others who might dare to defy the gods. Zeus's mind, filled with divine wisdom and a sense of retribution, conceived a punishment that was as ingenious as it was cruel. He wanted Sisyphus to suffer for his disrespect and arrogance. The punishment needed to be more than just a sentence, it had to be a perpetual reminder of the consequences of defying the gods. Zeus's anger was not just about the crimes committed but also about the sheer audacity and arrogance Sisyphus displayed. The king of the gods would ensure that Sisyphus's suffering was a testament to his own power and authority. Zeus condemned Sisyphus to an eternity in the underworld. The underworld, ruled by Hades, was a place of darkness and despair, far removed from the light of the living world. It was a fitting place for those who had committed grave offenses. But for Sisyphus, Zeus had something special in mind, a punishment that would stand out even in the realm of the damned. This was a common punishment for the wicked. Many souls found themselves in the underworld, paying for their sins in various ways, but Sisyphus's fate was to be different, more severe, and infinitely more torturous. Zeus's decision was not just about sending Sisyphus to the underworld, it was about crafting a unique and eternal torment that would reflect the severity of his crimes. However, Zeus added a cruel twist to Sisyphus's fate. He decreed that Sisyphus would be forced to push a massive boulder up a steep hill, only for it to roll back down each time he neared the top. This endless cycle of effort and failure was designed to break Sisyphus's spirit and serve as a perpetual reminder of his defiance. This twist would make Sisyphus's punishment uniquely agonizing. The futility of his task, the endless repetition, and the physical and mental strain would ensure that Sisyphus's suffering was unparalleled. Zeus's wrath was not just about punishment, it was about creating a legacy of divine retribution that would echo through the ages, reminding all of the power and authority of the king of the gods. Sisyphus's punishment was to push a massive boulder up a steep hill. This was no ordinary task but a sentence handed down by the gods themselves. This seemed simple enough at first. Sisyphus, known for his cunning and defiance, believed he could outsmart the gods once more. However, the gods cursed the boulder. They imbued it with a spell that made it impossible to reach the summit. Every time Sisyphus neared the top, the boulder would roll back down. No matter how hard he tried, the outcome was always the same. Sisyphus was forced to repeat this futile task forever. Day after day he would push the boulder, only to watch it tumble back down. He was trapped in a cycle of endless, meaningless labor. The physical strain was immense, but the psychological torment was even greater. The punishment was designed to break his spirit. Each failure chipped away at his resolve, leaving him more despondent with every attempt. Zeus wanted Sisyphus to understand the futility of defying the gods. The king of the gods sought to make an example of him, to show that no one could escape divine retribution. Sisyphus had once been a king, a man of great intellect and ambition. He had tricked the gods on multiple occasions, earning their wrath. His most famous act of defiance was capturing Thanatos, the god of death, to avoid his own demise. This act disrupted the natural order, angering the gods. The gods convened and decided that Sisyphus needed to be punished in a way that matched his audacity. They crafted a punishment that was both eternal and inescapable. And so, Sisyphus began his eternal sentence. Each day was a reminder of his hubris and the power of the gods. Despite the hopelessness of his situation, Sisyphus continued to push the boulder. His determination was unyielding, even in the face of an impossible task. Each time the boulder rolled back down, he would return to the base of the hill and start again. His spirit, though battered, remained unbroken. Sisyphus's story is a powerful reminder of the consequences of defying the divine. It speaks to the human condition, the struggle against insurmountable odds, and the resilience of the human spirit. In the end, Sisyphus's eternal sentence is not just a tale of punishment, but also one of perseverance. It is a testament to the enduring strength of the human will, even in the face of eternal adversity. The myth of Sisyphus is rich in symbolism. The boulder represents our struggles and burdens in life. The hill symbolizes our goals and aspirations. Sisyphus's endless task reflects the human condition. Life can often feel like an uphill battle. We strive for success and happiness. However, we often face setbacks and disappointments. Just like Sisyphus, we must confront the absurdity of our existence. The 20th century philosopher Albert Camus saw profound meaning in the myth of Sisyphus. He used Sisyphus as a metaphor for the human search for meaning in a meaningless world. Camus believed that life is inherently absurd. There is no inherent purpose or meaning, only what we create. Camus argued that we should embrace the absurd. We must find joy and fulfillment in the struggle itself, just like Sisyphus pushing his boulder. The myth of Sisyphus has resonated throughout history. It appears in countless works of art, literature, and music. Artists and writers have used Sisyphus to explore themes of futility, perseverance, and the human condition. Franz Kafka, for example, uses Sisyphean imagery in his stories. He captures the feeling of being trapped in meaningless routines. The myth allows artists to comment on the human struggle against overwhelming odds. The myth of Sisyphus has given rise to the term Sisyphean task. This idiom describes any task that is endless and pointless. We use it to express frustration with repetitive and unrewarding activities. Examples include bureaucratic paperwork or pointless chores. The phrase reminds us of the absurdity we sometimes encounter in our lives. It highlights the importance of finding meaning even in mundane tasks. The myth of Sisyphus, though tragic, offers a glimmer of hope. Despite the endless struggle, Sisyphus never gives up. He continues to push the boulder, defying the gods and the absurdity of his fate. This resilience can inspire us to confront our own challenges. We can choose to find meaning in the struggle itself. Sisyphus teaches us that even in the face of absurdity, we can choose to persevere. The myth of Sisyphus continues to resonate today. It reminds us of the challenges and absurdities of life. It also highlights the importance of perseverance, resilience, and finding meaning in our struggles. Sisyphus is a powerful symbol of the human spirit. He teaches us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, we can choose to endure and find our own meaning in the world.